There's a difference between being poor and being in poverty. And I didn't learn the difference until I was broke, poor, and disgusted. I was broke as a joke, okay? And I saw myself entering into entrepreneurship, and I found myself just studying, researching, trying to find my niche, trying to find a problem that people were having. And this is how I knew the difference between poor and poverty. Poor. A lot of people are poor. Poor does not really dictate your mindset. Poor is just a situation. Poor is, you can have $1 million mindset and be in a poor situation, in a temporary situation. There's a lot of people that became millionaires. I believe Jeff Bezos, he is the owner of Amazon, I believe. When he started Amazon, he only had $7 to his name. And he was in a poor situation. It doesn't mean that he was like in poverty. Poverty means it's a mindset. It's like a victim mindset. You don't want to invest in yourself. You just feel like there is just no way out of your situation. You feel like people care about a situation that initially they don't care about. Like, I want to tell you this right now. If you are in a poor situation or you have a poverty mindset and you feel like the world owes you, the world does not owe you anything. Whether you're rich or whether you're poor, the world is going to go on. So why not just be wealthy anyways? Why not invest in yourself and try to get out of the situation that you're in anyways? It's just so crazy to me how there are so many talented and gifted people in this world. We will never know because they had such a poverty mindset. They didn't want to invest in themselves. They were so lazy. They were just in so much. They just procrastinated so much. They just didn't want to do the work. They just felt like everything was just so hard to the point that they stayed in that situation. Why don't you be the person in your family that, hey, I was once in your situation, but I got up. I decided to change something about it. A lot of people, they don't want to change anything about their situation. They don't want to. It's sad. It's sick. They want to be in poverty. I remember I was in poverty. I was poor. I was in a poor situation. And my husband and I, we were just so poor to the point where we found ourselves going to food drives and we literally just like had no gas in our cars. So I was literally like driving on faith. I was driving in faith and with 0 miles. Crazy, right? So I remember I was literally sitting in the food drive for about 30 minutes to an hour. And I guess the rules were you had to live in that specific county to get the food. But I literally had a life change where ultimately my address on my ID was completely different. But I lived in that county because I moved. And he was just so nice to me at first. And then when he looked at my ID, I guess he took my ID, right? And his wife was like, make sure you tell her this is her last time coming. And he was just so mean and rude to me. And I was like, hey, I'm sorry. I understand that the address says something different. And he completely cut me off. He was like, yeah, I know, but we have rules. He was just so mean and disgusting. And I just remember I was just like, wow, you can be poor and you could be the needy and people just still just don't care. They can just be so rude and just nasty to you. They don't care about your situation. They don't care about a certain life change. I remember feeling in that situation. I never want to be in this anymore. I never want to be poor anymore. I just don't want to be the borrower. I want to be the lender. And I literally made a decision to change my life. You want to know the difference between a self-made millionaire and a person that has a lot of a potential, but they have a poverty mindset? Deciding. A lot of people that have potential have not decided to change their situation yet, except self-made millionaires, billionaires. They've made a decision that I don't want to be in this situation anymore. I believe that we can't control how we were born. Some of us were born into poverty, and we just can't control that. We can't. Like, our parents made decisions, and it led to us being born into poverty. We just can't change that. We weren't in charge of decisions that our parents made, ultimately. But we can change the decisions we make when we are full-grown adults and we are old enough to make our own decisions. We can change that. We can. I made a decision that day when he was just being so rude and so nasty to me and told me that I can only come once a month and basically told me that he didn't care about the life change that had happened to me. I made a decision that day that I never wanted to be poor again, and that I was going to always work towards being the person that God had designed me to be. You have to make a decision that I'm no longer going to have a poverty mindset. I'm no longer going to walk around like a victim. I'm no longer going to have excuses for myself. And I'm going to win. I'm going to decide to change my life. I don't care how the odds may just everything may just be against me winning. I'm going to win regardless. Your generation is depending on you. Your bloodline is depending on you. Your future kids, your spouse, like, people are dependent on you to be decided to change your life for the better. So make that decision. Don't be stuck in poverty. Don't make hundreds of thousands excuses as to why you just can't win. When I was poor, I literally had no gas. My husband and I, we just were in a very undesirable situation. We were homeless. We just found all the odds against us. Literally had no money, but we were decided that we were going to change our life. And when we literally made the step, like when we finally decided that we were going to do this, literally the first month we made $10,000. And I was just like, what? My husband and I, we never made that amount of money before. We've never, ever, bro, that was the most money that we have ever made in our marriage thus far. And that moment. And I was just like, it's possible. All it really takes is for you to make that first sale, that second sale, or that third sale. And you're like, bro, I can do this. It's possible. A lot of you guys feel like it's not possible. And I'm telling you, if you work towards the goal, you research, you study the niche, the industry that you're trying to get into, and you make that first sale, it is so possible. Nothing is impossible. The word impossible literally says, I'm possible. To do it. Nothing's impossible. You can do it. You can do it with God. God has given you a purpose to win. He does not want you broke and disgusted. He don't. And anybody telling you that you have to be in poverty, anybody telling you that you just have to be a victim is lying to you. Read your word. Read the word of God. It says that Jesus Christ has already blessed us with every spiritual blessing in the heavenly places. The wealth, the riches is already ours. We just need to work to get it. It's already ours. What are you doing to get it? Once you decided that, okay, I no longer want to be in poverty, you better work towards your goal. Work towards your goal. Come against that spirit of poverty so that you can change your generation and you can change your bloodline. I hope this blessed you and it helps you to come out of that poverty mindset and work towards your goal. Work towards your purpose, your God-given purpose. Have a blessed day.